Guadalupe, Garabandal and St. Malachy. A new sensational discovery links two of the most important Marian apparitions in history, to the Irish bishop of the 12th century and to the famous list attributed to him of all the popes until the end of times. The extraordinary confirmation comes from a new study of the tilma that depicts Our Lady as she appeared to Juan Diego in Guadalupe, Mexico, on December 12, 1531. The mantle worn by the Blessed Virgin had already been the subject of study in the past because of the 46 stars present on it, depicting celestial bodies from 14 different constellations as they could be observed on the day of the apparition. Alessandro Massano, an Italian astronomy scholar, had the brilliant intuition of correlating each star to one of the popes who followed one another from 1531 to the present. At the time, Clement VII was reigning, until he died 3 years later. Pope after pope, we arrive at the 46th on the list, which is Benedict XVI, who died in 2022. How one cannot notice the extraordinary coincidence with the list of popes of the prophecy of St. Malachy, Benedict XVI and the end of times prophesied in Garabandal? To avoid confusion, I simply quote the words of Conchita, the main visionary of Garabandal, in Spain, where Marian apparitions took place from 1961 to 1965. Even not yet officially approved by the Church, those apparitions have been supported by several saints such as Padre Pio, Escrivá de Balaguer, Paul VI and Mother Teresa. Conchita revealed that after the death of John XXIII, there would be 4 other popes until the end of times. It does not mean the end of all time or the end of the world, but rather the beginning of a new era. The 4 popes are therefore Paul VI, John Paul I, John Paul II, and, again, Benedict XVI. It must be said, though, that in Garabandal Our Lady never spoke of false popes, and according to Conchita's words, Mary simply indicated 4 popes to her before the beginning of the end. Albrecht Weber, author of the book The Finger of God, had been in Garabandal in 1963 and had become friends with Conchita. On November 14, 1965, the day after the last apparition of Our Lady in Garabandal, Weber interviewed Conchita at her home, in the presence of her mother. During that interview, it emerged that Conchita had made the revelations about the popes on the very day of John XXIII's death, on June 3, 1963. Specifically, Conchita spoke of 3 more popes and then the end of times would come. In response to a question from her mother, Conchita replied that Our Lady had indeed said that there would be 4 other popes, but that she did not count one of them. Conchita added that Our Lady had told her that one of the popes would have a very short reign, John Paul I, as actually happened, whose pontificate lasted only for 33 days. The new discovery made by Alessandro Massano of the 46 popes and the 46 stars of the tilma, links everything in an even more profound way, if we consider the different number of celestial bodies belonging to each of the 14 constellations as depicted on the mantle of the Virgin of Guadalupe. In fact, some constellations are depicted with just 1 star, others with 2, others with 3, 4, 5 and 7, and only one with 9 stars. By simply checking the list of the popes from 1531 to our days, we discover that the 4 constellations with a single star indicate the only 4 popes in the list whose name is present only once: Hydra, Draco, Canis Minor and Coma Berenices for the popes John XXIII, Julius III, Marcellus II and Sixtus V. The constellations of Lupus, Canes Fanatici and Auriga are depicted with 2 stars, for popes Urban VII and VIII, Alexander VII and VIII and John Paul I and II, to indicate the same name chosen twice by 3 different pairs of cardinals, again the only ones in the list of 46 pontiffs. The 3 stars belonging to the constellation of Taurus indicate the popes Leo XI, Leo XII and Leo XIII. The 4 stars of the constellations of Ophiuchus, Boötes and Crux indicate the popes Gregory, Paul, and Benedict. The 5 popes innocent represent the 5 stars of Centaurus, just as the 7 clement popes are indicated by the 7 stars of Scorpius. Lastly, the 9 pious popes, from Pius IV to Pius XII, are indicated by the 9 stars of the Ursa Major. If one considers that the constellation of Ursa Major contains many more stars than just the 9 depicted on the tilma, everything takes on an even more extraordinary meaning. 14 constellations, therefore, but only 46 stars depicted on Guadalupe's tilma, for a total of 46 popes from Clement VII to Benedict XVI. A sensational discovery by Alessandro Massano, destined to have wide resonance throughout the world, and an incredible confirmation of the prophecy about the end of times revealed to Conchita of Garabandal.